Alright, hey guys, welcome in today. I got a new video, new tutorial for you, step by step on one of my favorite projects. I'm trying to grab my iPad over here just as it is Simba from The Lion King. New movie coming out that I'm super excited for. I'm going to try to do actually a little background painting on the background on there, and then I got a little pillow design. I'm sure my son would really like that pillow because he's a big Simba fan, as I am. So if we go step by step, and of course you guys know I always start off in pencil, so I'm going to start off in pencil first, just in case I make any mistakes. I can go back and erase it. Can't really do that with Sharpie too much. Always kind of start it nice and lightly, just in case I make a little mistake. I can always go back and kind of erase it. I kind of go back and forth almost on my video. If you see how I do a circle, that's kind of how I started this. So a nice arch line, then I'll go over it a little darker now that I feel a little bit more comfortable with it. So a nice arch line from one side to the other. And then it kind of angles down, but there's a straight line on the bottom of his chin. So I'm going to go that straight line. I'm going to try to kind of measure it up in the middle. I'm going to go a straight line down here. And then it kind of angles off to this side. And then it angles off to that side. And that's what kind of gives us that overall shape to his head. If we start, I would say, again, in that middle, I always say when kids do a face, usually some of them do like a little plus sign, and you can add that if you want, if that helps you kind of line everything up. I'm going to try to just go right in the middle with another little straight line, and that's actually going to be the top of his nose, and then that kind of sets up where the eyes are going to go. The eyes are also kind of that rainbow line, a really big one, so make sure you got a good size for this top part. Kind of goes up and then down, and on this side, kind of that same thing, up and then down. And then this one kind of curves into a point. So this one kind of curves back up. This one kind of curves also back up onto there. So we got our circles for our eyes. This actually has 4 different circles, so you got to kind of be careful that you do a nice big one first on there, so you have room to do all the other ones. So we got one big giant one, and you can kind of put it lower, a little bit lower onto yours. Another one over here, nice big circle into there. And then another circle, a little bit smaller, not too much though. And then a small circle inside of that. So we got 4 different circles. So you kind of got that one big one, and then another one, and then another one, and then another one onto there. And then I'll show you once we color those in how that will look. The last thing I want to add is on the eye. It almost is like a kind of eyelash or kind of an eyebrow on the top up here. It gives it the impression of that. Right where this kind of turns over, you want to kind of continue that. And then it goes back. It's like a little boomerang, I guess, would kind of be a design on there. So right where this kind of turns and goes, I'm going to kind of stretch it out a little bit and then come back down. And that little arch there adds a little effect that I like on there. The nose kind of goes out a little bit wide, out a little bit wide over here. And then it kind of comes back down and under like a really stretched out smiley face or a U shape onto there. Okay, starting to look a little bit like Simba now. Some little nostrils. You can put an arch on that side and an arch on that side. This one's kind of a little tricky line. It's kind of that above nostril, but it'll be a different color on our nose. Kind of arches up and then down and then back up, almost like a little roller coaster line. So that's how I'm going to do it. I'm going to kind of go up, down, and then back up and down. And see how that kind of makes the nose kind of almost look kind of 3D, like it's going to pop out. Onto the mouth part. Going really fast on this. I like this. Pretty simple designs. Line down. It's kind of got that cat part of it. I think I used that in my cat video that I did a cat, how to draw a cat. Maybe I'll put that link down in the description below that you can click on the little button down below if you want to see that one. It's kind of got that same kind of nose, which a lion, I guess, is a cat or in the cat family. Okay, enough side talk. Let's get back on track. So you got your line straight down. Then you kind of got kind of a grumpy face. Again, kind of a stretched out arch, a stretched out arch line. Kind of looks like Simba's a little bit mad now, but somehow, believe it or not, if you turn that back into a smile, kind of gives them a curious kind of smirk onto there, and that's what we're kind of looking for on there. So it kind of is, again, almost like that kind of roller coaster line, but if you started out with kind of a grumpy face or an upside down U, really stretched out, and then it kind of curves back up, and this one also curves back up onto there. If you want to stretch it out on the side, that makes them look a little bit more like a smile or kind of a happy face. Put a little arch on each side of there. And then those actually will connect kind of to the nose. It'll kind of go, again, we have kind of a lot of those little squiggle lines. So I guess if you kind of want to follow this one, it kind of goes down and then up on there. And this one kind of goes down and then up on there. That kind of adds the kind of lion little part onto there. And then the bottom, just kind of a little line that kind of connects this little form over there and then over here. And pretty much we got our little Simba face onto there. I think it looks pretty good. Starting to look a little bit more like a lion now. Onto the top, he's got his little spike on here. So if you want to do some zigzags, so you can do some kind of squiggle zigzag lines. And then I always stop them at the top and then start from the other side. Just kind of start smaller and then go. If you want to add a couple more into here, it'll start to look a little bit more like hair. All right. He looks kind of funny. He's definitely missing something. His ears, his kind of trademark floppy ears. Ears are pretty simple. I like this design of how they do it. So it's kind of a straight line out. You can do that on both sides if you want. Kind of make them even. You can use your pencil to kind of measure that. Straight line over. About the same size. If you want to measure that, you can with your little finger. That's a little hack for you also that you can kind of measure with your finger. Sometimes I even take part of the pencil and kind of make sure. So that one goes to the eraser and about the 2. So that one also to the eraser and about the 2 on my pencil there. Always giving you guys tips and tricks that'll help you on your little drawings here. Okay, so then this one kind of just curves down. Probably comes back up about the eye. So this one, again, comes down and then kind of back up. Kind of that final part that makes it look a little bit more 3D. It's kind of just a curvy line that goes up to the top. A curvy line goes up to that corner. And that's what makes his ears kind of look like they're almost flopping over. Last part of the ear, you can just do a little line that kind of parallel and follows that first part of the ear onto there. And there we got Simba. I'm going to go through that in Sharpie so you can see it a little bit better. And then I'll start adding some color and do a really cool background on that, like I said, with my rainbow. So let's go through that. All right, so there's the Simba outlined in black, and I just have to tell you guys, just like you guys, sometimes I get a little worried from the beginning, not sure how it's going to turn out, because I've never drawn most of these that I'm doing for you guys, especially of the characters and the different little cartoons on here. This is my first time too, so I get a little nervous before I outline in Sharpie, but I thought this one turned out really cool. I was definitely happy and surprised with how it turned out. The reason I have my crayons in here, these are the colors I'm going to use. I tried to find kind of a little Simba color. It's this one. I might try to mix, some of these together. I got a little light skin color and then the pink for under his nose onto there. So let's go through that real quick, and then I'll start using kind of blend in my sky colors, maybe my yellow, maybe my orange and my red, and maybe a little bit of black in the background to make it like a sunset or an African sunset, which is where Lion King takes place. All right, there it is, guys. How does that look? It looks awesome. Definitely one of my favorite ones. If you got any other ideas for Disney characters, since I seem to be liking doing some of these Disney characters, throw me a comment down below in the comments section on what Disney character I should do next. As always, I am Mr. Shooty. This is Mr. Shooty's Art Channel. We will talk to you guys later.